I'm Rob.
And I'm Matt.
And this is the ZomDay VR Review by
Barefoot Gaming.
So it's got zombies, but don't stop watching, okay? I know zombies have been done to death. They're done to death with first-person shooters. They're done to death in VR. They're not done to death in VR because you have to check this game out. ZomDay. Matthew, what is it that you do?
It's essentially a wave shooter where zombies come at you and you're trying to kill them.
So, again, you're going to hear wave shooter and go, not another wave shooter. Bear with us. This is not like a typical wave shooter. You are not stationary in one spot. This is like an arcade wave shooter where you have to run around. Think maybe...
For me, I felt like it was Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies. It was very reminiscent of that. It felt almost exactly to it, just VR.
And where I felt it was very reminiscent of Left 4 Dead. Because you have different kinds of zombies coming at you. You're running around throughout the map. And the map isn't as big as the Left 4 Dead maps.
Right.
But it's large enough that you can actually book it around to try to get around these guys.
For VR, it's a pretty good size map, I'd say.
So movement. Let's talk about movement style.
So the movement is teleportation, but it's not the same kind of teleportation that you're used to, because you can turn in a full 360, you can kind of walk around yet too, but you can't teleport through the zombies, so it's as if they're an object in front of you and you have to actually go around them. So if there's a huge swarm actually blocking a hallway for you, you can't get past it unless there's a gap from those zombies.
And that's how they keep that fear of zombies overrunning you, because you can't just reach over them and teleport. You actually have to fight a way through, blow a hole through however many of the zombies, and then try to get around that way.
Yeah, and the zombies do just start building up more and more and more if you don't take them out over time. Because I know there's like a pack of 20 at one time that were coming at me, and I had to go upstairs and down and just kind of weave my way around them and slowly make this pack smaller and smaller.
So if you're still watching, and you should be, because again, this is not your typical wave shooter zombie game, it's totally different. I'm actually going to even classify it partially as like, not an RPG, but you actually level up your character with the kind of weapons you use. So the more handgun you use, or the more M16 you use, or the more Uzi, the better you get with it. Plus, you can buy them.
Right, so you have perks that you can buy to upgrade your weapon. So you can make your pistol do like 2 times more damage. You can get 2 times more health from picking up stuff on the ground, or more ammo, or just anything basically. You can slowly upgrade yourself every single level, and that benefits you for those 6 waves that you're going through.
And how many different guns there are. There is a plethora of guns.
You realize this like right from the beginning, because the training that it puts you through shows you the whole wall of guns. And it's so cool to look at them and to see what kind of guns you'll eventually get.
And you can hold them on your body.
And so there's 4 slots that you can hold stuff. So if you want 2 grenades and then 2 pistols on you, you can do it that way. So there's 4 different ways to grab. Plus both of your hands can be filled at the same time. So there's basically 6 different things you can have on you at once. Or there's crates.
7. There's your back.
Sorry. There's a sniper on your back yet too that you can have.
Not an actual sniper, just the rifle.
Yeah.
A sniper on your back would actually be pretty cool though.
That might be actually.
The little guy running around. We digress. It's got a very interesting reload mechanic, which is something else we should talk about that I haven't seen a lot of, and I really enjoyed it.
Normally with most games, you press the button, it reloads. Pretty simple. With this game, you have to basically drop the magazine with one button, pull it to your chest to reload the magazine. That's for like pistols and Uzis and stuff like that. For the shotgun itself, you have to actually hold the shotgun to your chest and click the button for every individual shot that you're putting in it. So if it's a 6-shot shotgun, shotgun, you have to press the button 6 times to your chest. If you only press it twice, you only put 2 bullets in it. It's an amazing idea.
And those that are purists that would prefer the trackpad locomotion, it doesn't really work here unless it would be really fast. You can't have an onward style of movement where everything kind of moves along. You need to be able to run.
Yes, there's so many. It's because there's zombies that run at you as fast as possible, so you have to be able to dodge and weave side to side and get around stuff as fast as possible. And if you don't, you will die.
And that's another point we should talk about. Some of the zombies run fast. Some of them wander at you slow. Very George Romero is right, which are wonderful. Those are my favorites.
Yeah, those are
you have guys that are screaming at you. You have guys that are on fire. You have guys that when they explode, blow up other stuff around them. Again, kind of a nod to Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
And then we ran across. We're just listing some of them, but we ran across one guy. He's only in the 2nd level.
Right, he's a green zombie that he looks the same as the ones that explode, but when you kill him, he actually heals every single zombie around him. So you basically have to work around this map, killing them the very last, or killing them when they're not near anything at all, which is almost impossible.
And it's funny because I killed the very first time when we killed him, we found out that he boosted all of their health past their top level.
Right.
So usually just a couple shots to the head will take him out, or one well-placed shot. And here I'm shooting the guys in the head all around him, and they're just taking it because he's boosted their health so much.
Because I looked at the zombie and he was green, and I was like, oh, green's poison. That kind of makes sense. And then he shot him. It's like, no, that's health that's going up. This is not good. Don't do that again.
And the levels look different. Like Matthew was saying, you have 6 different waves. At the end of the 6 waves, you have a boss.
The boss is so much fun, and it's so big, and they really did a good job with it. I'll admit I kind of cheated for one of the boss fights, just because we found an area where the boss got stuck on something, and I had to essentially empty about 800 different kinds of clips into him just so he would die. And he has an enrage timer yet too, so all of a sudden you see his eyes light up red, and then he starts chasing you like full bore running, just like the fast zombies. It's such a great experience. It's a really fun game.
So this is made by 5 guys in China, and I actually was in communication with them ahead of time, and they were apologetic in the sense that this game is not what they would classify as complete. And they know that it's still, like Matthew was saying, there's still some glitches, but they are actively working on this. You're going to find a couple of like poor English translations and stuff, you know, when it's writing stuff out a little Metal Gear Solid, the base belong to us even a little bit, but it's close enough that I can totally forgive it, and they are working on this further.
Yep.
And if this is the quality that 5 guys in China can produce,
we want to go to China. We want to see those games then, because this is a high quality game. For just 5 developers, there's major developers that actually would have to compete pretty heavily with these guys.
This game looks good. So now let's get to the actual review of this thing. It is $10.99 Canadian, which really surprised me.
And right now it's actually on sale for 40% off, so it's $6.59 Canadian.
So how many flaming zombies that are screaming and trying to tear your head off out of 5 would you give this, Matthew, and why?
I would give this game a solid 5 out of 5. I really love the experience. I didn't think that I was going to by looking at the game and stuff like that, but as soon as you hop in, even watching him play the game, we were laughing and having a great time. It's something I'll definitely pick up, because for $6.59 or even $10.99 at the high point, it's a steal of a deal. There's no question about it. I would get this game.
And this has both single player and multiplayer. The concept of me being able to pop in with Matthew and having him cover one part of the map while I'm covering another, just...
it excites me to no end.
So I'm going to give this 4.5 rats trying to chew my legs off out of 5. This game is really, really good. Those rats suck. They suck bad because you keep looking up and they're dumb. But I digress, back to the review. I give this game a 4.5 out of 5 because the graphics are incredible. The options for leveling up your character, the options for getting different weapons, it's a constant rush. Having to run back in between waves to grab ammo, to buy ammo before all of a sudden the next wave kicks in. Having to make it out into the street to pick up the boxes that are dropping in between. And all of a sudden it's wave 2 has begun, right? It's intense. This is a game that I would highly recommend. It is lots and lots of fun. And I want to throw a super fast thank you out to Centipede on Reddit. Thank you so much for pointing me in the direction of this game. You're awesome, and this would have flown under our radar, and it would have flown under a lot of the viewers' radars, and that would be sad, because this is a jewel in the rough.
Yes,
no
thank
question.
you so much.
That's it. We'll talk to you again real soon. See ya.
See ya.